Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat channel, and today guys, as you see by the title, we are going to be talking about what would you think if Konami made competitive tag team duels. So like, I guess you could say like a YCS where, you have your main, part of the tournament, one person versus one person, but you also had a little bit cider note in a competitive scene, you had two players versus two players, if that's what I mean by a tag team duel. Two duelists versus two other duelists in a duel. So a tag team duel. And this is something I've always wanted to talk about. It pretty much got pushed to the back of my brain, and then I watched a fellow YouTuber's video last week, and it came to my frontal lobe of my brain, and I said, huh, that's something I forgot to completely about talking about. So today, we're going to talk about it. What would you think if tag team duels were competitive? Now, at my locals in the past, we actually had some, about once every 3 months or so, once a format, we would have days where we would just have you and your buddy could tag team duel and enter this like small little local tournament type thing. It was fun, but I was really little back then. And then, geez almighty, a whole bunch of years later, I went to YCS Philadelphia, which is the closest YCS they usually have around my area. And I went up to Philadelphia. I'm not going this year, by the way, but I went up to YCS Philadelphia, and they had tag team duels on the side. I forget what they were called exactly. I think it was Pegasus type duels. I can't remember, but they had tag team duels on a side event, and me and my friend who were there, I said, hey, let's just enter this. And at the time, Six Samurais were a main deck, and Gravekeepers were still a deck. So we had Six Samurais and Gravekeepers teaming up, and it was a cool little thing because Gravekeepers could shut down their opponent's graveyard, and Six Samurais could negate stuff. So it was a really cool little combo type deck that was really fun to play with together with my friend. But those were a whole bunch of, that was a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So what would you think of it if it came competitive? You would still have your main event, like, your, all your main meta decks and all that, but you would also have on the side, in a competitive scene, you would have tag team events. And this is something that I've always wondered, why has Konami not done this? Every time I have a duel or a tag team duel with a friend, just at college or anywhere as I go, it's such a fun experience. Yes, it gets a little confusing, but after you take some time and learn the mechanics, it's really, really fun. And it's always got me thinking, why is it not competitive? Why are there not tournaments just solely dedicated to make, competitive tag team duels? And just think of all the cool decks you could build to work off each other. Yes, there would be some stupid combos, but you could also do like what you do in main meta decks, like you have a ban list. You could say, well, in tag team duels, you can't have these decks, like just a Pacific tag team duel ban list, if you understand what I'm saying. So you wouldn't have these super duper broken combo tag team tool type decks. Now maybe that's one of the reasons why Konami has never done something like this, but I just think it would be a really cool idea. Ever since I saw tag team duels, for all my old school players, you remember on the original Duelist Kingdom when they were stuck on Pegasus Island, or Pegasus's Island, excuse me. They had Joey and Yugi had to face the Paradox Brothers, and they always rhymed and were trying to make the Gate Guardian, and then they had the Labyrinth, and it was crazy, but it was a cool duel. And then later on, they showcased another tag team duel in Battle City, where Kaiba, which was my favorite tag team duel, where you had Kaiba and you had Yugi teaming up to take on, I can't pronounce the names correctly, but Una and Umbris, the guys that wore the masks. I can't remember. So back to competitive tag team duels. What would you think of this idea? Yes, I think it would be a little confusing at first to players in a competitive scene, but I just think it would be something cool, and I'm surprised why Konami hasn't done this already. Maybe they wouldn't be able to make the money off it, but I think it would just, it's not a big step from, having single events to having competitive tag team duels. It's really not a huge leap in my personal opinion. But I just want to see what you guys would think on this topic. Would you enter these events if these events were real? Like if they was really competitive tag team duels at a YCS or regional or even an ARG tournament? What would you think of this idea? And I just want to hear your thoughts on this and just see what you guys think. I want to hear a response and read your comments and just, communicate back and forth, because this is something I've always wondered why they have not done this, and I really can't come up with a solid answer. So I look forward to seeing your comments, and maybe you can answer my question, which is why haven't they done this? I know, like I said earlier, maybe it's because they would have to mix with the ban list or something like that, but you could have a separate ban list altogether of, you can't use these cards in tag team duels, just for the, the tournaments, competitive tag team duels. But what are your thoughts on this idea? And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you all next time. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys.